My name is Batman! Motherfucker. Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Do you understand me?
This is taking too long.
The 4 Batman Arkham games are considered some of the best superhero games ever made, but these games came out over a decade ago. So the question is, do they still hold up today? But before we get into the details, here's each game's story summed up in one sentence. No spoilers. Batman Arkham Asylum. Why doesn't Gotham just use the electric chair? Batman Arkham City. Batman has super AIDS. Batman Arkham Origins. It's Christmas and everyone wants Batman dead. Batman Arkham Knight. Batman versus evil scary fart spray man. Anyways, do the Batman Arkham games still hold up? Let's start with Batman Arkham Asylum. This game came out so long ago that even Rockstar Games managed to release a few games since it came out. But even 17 years later, this game holds up well because it does something that most modern games still struggle with. Atmosphere. Look at Gotham Knights in comparison to Arkham Asylum. It almost looks like Fortnite. It doesn't really feel like it takes place in Gotham. But in comparison, Arkham Asylum feels like a darker version of the Batman animated series. And also sometimes like a horror game.
What about Croc?
He won't be a problem.
But we also can't forget Officer Balls.
Officer Balls.
Gameplay wise, it's the most limited in the series, but it still holds up. And you also get to play as baby Bruce Wayne for a bit. However, Joseph claims that this is a horrendous game, but in my opinion this game has aged like fine wine, and it's still a very enjoyable game, and this game laid the foundation for the whole series. 8 out of 10. Then you move into Batman Arkham City. This game is a massive improvement from Asylum in every possible way. Some people consider it not only the best game in the series, but one of the greatest story games of all time. And rightfully so, because it is. The story in Arkham City feels like a movie. It's very well written, genuinely keeping you on edge the whole way through. And Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill both did an amazing job as they always did as Batman and Joker. And the map is massive in comparison to Asylum. It's an open world map where you're not just mostly stuck to the ground anymore, but gliding from building to building across Gotham's Arkham City, which is filled with different gangs around the map. The gameplay in City features new gadgets and other playable characters such as Robin, Catwoman, and also Nightwing, which you can only play as in the challenge maps. Also, can we talk about the soundtrack for this game? Cause it's damn peak. In my opinion, this game hasn't really aged, and this is also one of my most favorite games I've ever played. 10 out of 10. Next is Batman Arkham Origins. This game is unique because it used to get overlooked when it launched because it was kind of buggy, and also it was made by a different company. Origins also used to have an online mode, but it shut down back in 2016. But one of the most clear differences is that this is the only game in the Batman Arkham series where Batman and Joker aren't voiced by Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. Instead, Roger Craig Smith voices a younger Batman and the Joker is voiced by Troy Baker. But they both did an amazing job, so it doesn't really matter. Origins is also a prequel set before Arkham Asylum, and it makes it very clear that Batman is not a one-dimensional character, especially in comparison to Arkham Asylum where Batman is kind of chill somehow. But the best feature in Origins is the boss fights. Origins is now praised for having the best boss fights in the series, like the fight with Deathstroke where I left him looking like defeated Goku. And Bane in Arkham Origins is widely considered the best version of the character in the entire series, unlike the Titan Junkie in Arkham Asylum and City. And we can't forget the most difficult boss in the game, the Electrocutioner fight. To be honest, I don't think this game is really aged. I like the story and I think it's one of the most enjoyable games I've ever played. 9 out of 10. And finally, Batman Arkham Knight. This is where everything comes together. Even after being released almost 11 years ago, this game still looks incredible. The lighting, the rain, Gotham itself. Visually, this game looks better than most games releasing today. The amount of details is still insane even in 2026. Like, I have no idea what magic trick they used. But the real highlight is the gameplay. Everything flows perfectly. Combat, gadgets, stealth, movement, it all connects seamlessly. The map in this game is also the biggest it is in the series, and it's full of Easter eggs and side quests around Gotham. Also, the Batmobile parts of the game aren't as bad as people say they are in my opinion, but they are a bit overused. Anyways, this game hasn't even aged after being released almost more than a decade ago. I genuinely think this is one of the best games I've ever played. 9 out of 10. Now, I'll talk about the worst part in these games.
The Riddler!
Anything related to him in most of the games is just pretty boring, except in Arkham City. However, in Arkham Knight, I am not collecting hundreds of trophies and doing racetracks just to punch this guy. Thank God it's optional. Also, one thing I've noticed about these games is that the character models are all over the place. Some characters straight up get redesigned. Bruce Wayne looks like a different person each game. Same with Poison Ivy. But some characters age in reverse, like Jim Gordon, who looks ancient in Asylum and somehow younger in Arkham Knight. I've also noticed that when Batman performs a takedown, it sounds like a nuclear explosion. You can hear the bones being crushed, like there's no way this dude isn't dead. Anyway, something I'm glad they fixed was detective mode. Switching into detective mode in Arkham Asylum feels like getting flashbanged. But at least it was fixed in the other games. So in conclusion, do the Batman Arkham games still hold up? Yes, absolutely, and even now they feel polished and ahead of their time, and I really recommend you try them out if you haven't yet after all these years. 10 out of 10 game series. But on a real note, we all know that the best Batman game is Lego Mighty Micros.
I'm so fresh you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh you can suck my nuts. Swag. I'm so fresh you can suck my nuts. I'm so fresh you can suck my nuts.